So let's get straight into the breakdown of Episode 2 of The Bad Batch. For more future breakdowns and explanations on anything Star Wars, consider subscribing to this channel. We first arrive on the planet Saleucami, or otherwise known as Planet J-19. Saleucami is located in the Saleucami system in the Outer Rim territories. During the Clone Wars, its inhabitants preferred to stay out of the war, but the war would eventually come to this remote planet anyway. It was also on this planet where we saw the death of Jedi Master Stass Allie during Order 66 during the Revenge of the Sith. The last time we visited Saleucami was during the Clone Wars series. After Jedi Master Eeth Koth was captured by General Grevious, Anakin and Obi-Wan chased him to Saleucami. Although the Jedi Master was rescued, Grievous managed to escape to the planet down below. There, Grievous was hunted by the Jedis and the clones, which included the men of the 501st. During the mission, Rex was shot by a commando droid. Badly wounded, the clones were forced to leave him on a nearby farm. On J-19, we're introduced to a clone Defector. The clone that the Bad Batch meet was also the same clone that Rex met during his mission on Saleucami. The name of the clone Defector was Cut, and he ended up on Saleucami after his gunship crashed. After witnessing the execution of his fellow troopers at the hands of battle droids, Cut chose to desert. It was after this that he married Saleucami, and subsequently had a family together and 2 kids. The only reason why we see Cut during the Bad Batch is because Rex decided not to turn him in for desertion during the Clone Wars. Part of the reason why he gets along so well with the Bad Batch is because they are all outcasts, continuing the theme that is being set up for the series. Although some questions are raised as to why this random clone hasn't been mind-controlled like the others. Perhaps it's because he hasn't received the order, or maybe he got rid of his chip. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The clone Defector also mentioned that Captain Rex passed through. The last time we saw Captain Rex was with Ahsoka escaping the Venator Star Cruiser during Season 7 of the Clone Wars. The fact that the clone Defector made no mention of Ahsoka would mean that Ahsoka and Rex at this point must have already split up, perhaps thinking that if they were alone they would draw less attention. During the Bad Batch's stay on the farm, the group discussed the inhibitor chip that is controlling the mind of every clone, which confirms that Tech was already well aware of this, making mention of it during the first episode. Next, we see Omega in deep danger, facing off against a Nexu. But the Nexu that we see in this episode appears to be a smaller variant. Typically, Nexus are much bigger. Perhaps this is a younger Nexu or a smaller sized member of its species. The first time we get to see a Nexu is during the Attack of the Clones, which was the beast that Padme was forced to fight off during the arena execution scene. The Nexu is also a very prominent beast during the Old Republic, making several appearances throughout various stories. Upset by the situation, we see that Omega finally takes off her headpiece, which was given to her by the Kaminoans. We still don't really know what it means. Perhaps it relates to something about her defect. As we learn from Cut, the Kaminoans don't like to make useless things. So perhaps it is a clue to what Omega's defect is. After their ship gets impounded, one of the clones identify the shuttle as a modified Omicron-class attack shuttle. The Omicron-class attack shuttle was a very common class of shuttle used during the time of the Republic, and we see this numerous times throughout the Clone Wars. In town, we see a sign in Arbesh that reads Imperial Information Station, although it's probably less friendly than your typical information center. And if you've noticed throughout the entire episode, the clones lack any form of color, which is normally quite unusual given how colorful clone regiments are. The purpose of making these clones dressed in all white is to signify the transition from the Republic to the Empire. Since Order 66, the clones have lost all of their own personality, and the lack of color here is used to represent this change. In the closing scene, we see Wrecker doing bicep curls with a gonk droid. Gonk droids are a very common droid in the Star Wars galaxy. If you've watched any Star Wars story, you've probably seen them floating in the background somewhere. That's all for today's breakdown. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if I missed anything. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.